Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is Jackass Retro. My name is Matt, and for today's video, we're going to be going over my home runs in the postcard category. Now, this is actually a video some people asked me to do, and I think really kind of a good thing to remember on this is, I'm not trying to brag here. What I'm really hoping this can do is give you some ideas and thoughts and, kind of give you a rough idea on, when you're looking at postcards, some of the content that can do well when you're, putting something up for sale. This hopefully will be learning for everybody. Couple of caveats to the numbers and everything that we're going to be seeing. We're going to be going through Worth Point, so I can see the whole history of my account. There is some ways you can search for just your items in Worth Point. Worth Point will pull the gross item value, including shipping. It does not have, these numbers are raw, shipping not taken out, and no fees taken out. So, this isn't my net profit on these items. That being said, most of these were bought in lots, and I, probably didn't have more than $1 into any one of these cards. So without further ado, do want to mention, if you like postcards, you can check out my Facebook page, Jackass Retro. The link will be down in the description. If you like this kind of content, want to see more, and want to show some support for the channel, consider hitting the like button, maybe subscribe. You can also buy me a coffee. That link is down in the description as well. I'm beginning to include links to the products that I use for storing and shipping postcards, so you can find that in the comments. And yeah, that's going to be it. So let's just go ahead and jump right in, and we'll take a look at some of the postcard home runs. So we're going to start kind of in the $60 range, and then move up from there. I have, when I started this, I was considering doing $50 and up, but honestly, in that $50 to $60 range, I had a couple of hundred up. So kind of cut out the $50 range, and we're starting at about $60 and up. So let's take a look here. 1910s, undivided back. This is the First State Bank, $59.95. It was close enough. It made the cut. Undivided back. I put 1910s here. Not sure why. I probably could have put 1900s. But Maple Park, Illinois, small towns always do better than big cities. Not a real photo, but, definitely a good image of the town. So, oops, skipping ahead on accident. Next up, $59.95, real photo postcard. Now, this is a super interesting sale. This came from a large lot of real photo postcards that I purchased over the summer. I paid $600 for roughly around 1,300 real photo postcards. They were mostly courthouses, churches, some covered bridges. And what makes this one the most interesting is these cars out front. Now, the person who bought this card after purchasing sent me a message and told me that the cars that were in front were his mother's, his father's, and his grandfather's, who had served as judges in this courthouse spanning over about 50 to 75 years. So sometimes with these postcards, it's about finding the right buyer, and I think this one absolutely found the right buyer. Was unposted, otherwise fairly unremarkable, but very cool story behind it. And I love it when stuff like that happens. So that one was $59.95 as well. Next up, Tokyo, Japan, Ayasi River. There's a lot of the postcard sellers' conventional knowledge is that international postcards, unless they're like real photo street views of China pre 1930, aren't going to do well. I've done really well with international postcards, and you're going to see some of them come up here. So early Japan, almost like rural bridge, unposted, very cool postcard. Again, I think this was $63.95. Real photo postcard. Awesome view of Tacoma, Washington. The view of Mount Rainier in the background. Absolutely stunning black and white photo. Very cool. I mean, the contrast on that kind of says it all. So I really dig this one. I don't remember right now where I got it, but very cool postcard. Another very interesting real photo postcard. Now, my guess is this is probably the Alligator Park in California. There really wasn't enough data here for me to post it as that. But little girl riding an alligator. That's, I mean, so cool. And look how calm she is about it. Like, I don't know, just a fascinating card. I turned down a lot of offers on this card before it finally did sell. $63.95. This is came from a lot earlier this year that I purchased. Goodwill auction. Had a number of traditional geisha postcards in there. Early 1900s. Again, beautiful, hand-tinted. I mean, it's artwork at this point. $64.95 on this one. Same next. We have another one of those coming up here in a moment. This also came from the Goodwill lot, Bay City, Oregon, street scene. You know what is really cool about this one is this in the foreground, you have another photographer taking the exact same photo. Makes it real easy to tell you where it is. Bay City, Oregon, 1914. Got some signs, some cars, dirt street view. Dirt street view is one thing that I would definitely tell you. If it's a dirt street with cars, say that in your title. Dirt street sells cards. I learned that from Popeye. Here's another one of the traditional geisha ones. Again, absolutely beautiful, stunning postcard. This also came from the Goodwill auction lot, $64.95. Again, from the Goodwill auction lot, more recent. Fishing photograph. It's just a beautiful photo. The content is, there's a lot of fishing postcards out there, and generally fishing as a subject matter tends to do very well. There's not a lot out there for women fishing, so that's why I decided to price this one up. No other information here, so literally just selling it on its merits. There's nothing here that it's telling me, right? And at one time this sold for 50 cents. But that also came from that postcard lot from Goodwill. I just love this postcard. A lot of these I'm really, really liked. Brewerton, New York post office and barbershop. Post offices and barbershops are both good content for postcards. This one kind of has everything going for it. You've got the cars on the street, just a nice image on its own. The post office and barbershop in the same building. That's unusual. So yeah, this one, no surprise that this one sold relatively quickly. $64.95. courthouse in Gumming, Georgia. I'm going to say Gumming. Might be Cumming. Cumming. Yes, Cumming. There it is in the title down here. Misspelled on the postcard. Again, came from the lot of real photo postcards I bought over last summer. $64.95 on this one. Another courthouse, Lockhart, Texas. Caldwell County Courthouse. We're going to see quite a few of these. There was a good number that sold in the $50 price range as well. Another Texas postcard, courthouse. The Texas ones have sold very, very well, to be sure. The Texas postcards for real photo, I have found done very, very well for me. So Freestone County Courthouse. See this car here? Try to remember this car. It shows up in a lot of these courthouse postcards. And I'm pretty sure it's the photographer's car, but I'm not sure. Tell me what you think in the comments. Here we go again. Indiana County Courthouse, Indiana, Pennsylvania. There's the back of, I believe, that same car. Same lot, same everything. Again, same price even, I think. $64.95, indeed. Definitely more interesting. I don't know where I got this one, but super cool. I had to go online and get somebody to identify the car for me, and best guess is that this was a Maxwell. But look at how iconic is that. The touring goggles and hat, the old car with the dog, just chilling. Just chilling. That one sold for $66.95. I think I took an offer on that one. This was a lot of two early farming photographs, real photo postcards. So we've got that one and that one. All right. This, you know, I didn't really feel like was too good on its own, but it was obviously part of this same, like the same place and time. So I lotted them together. Sepia view, old farm equipment always does well as a postcard subject matter. You've got the farmers hanging out on the equipment, just taking a break, baling some hay. Just a couple of really cool images. Definitely this one I feel complements the other. That one sold for $69.95, so we're starting to get up there. All right. Gulfport, Mississippi. Now, there was somebody buying up. I had a lot of early Mississippi postcards. I bought a whole lot of them. I bought out a dealer in an antique mall in Seattle just before the pandemic hit. And, you know, I just kind of glanced through them and I made an offer for all of them, and they sold them to me. So you're going to see quite a few Mississippi ones, and some of the earlier ones, they sold pretty quickly once I put up there, and my prices definitely started inching up as I realized that some of these were probably either more desirable or more valuable, or there's somebody out there who wanted these. So my prices generally started going up. So this is Gulfport, Mississippi, 13th Street from the elevator. I'm assuming grain elevator. Message is somebody in Drew, Mississippi. I have sold a lot of postcards postmarked to Drew. So then next up, here's 1909 Algiers. So another international postcard going against the grain. Very cool image. Ships in the harbor. You've got like the aqueduct here, or viaduct rather. That one sold relatively quickly for $70. All right. Broad Street looking north, Martinsville, Virginia. This one, just a pretty unusual location. You've got the Dirt Street view. It was published by the local pharmacy, so it's not a super common postcard, which is one of the things that helped the value here. $69.95. Oop, jumping ahead. Picked up just before, again, the lockdown, a large lot of real photo postcards of the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition. So as we're getting into some of these higher priced ones, we're going to see some of those. This was one of the first ones to sell. And I think this is one of the first appearances of the Seafair Pirates. This is Japanese Day, but yeah, the ship out in the crowd during the parade, very cool. Ended up having to do some research on some of the events of the expo to figure out what I was looking at, but able to figure out this one. $69.95. This one, I feel like it may have canceled back on this one, and I sold it again recently, or I had multiple of the same event. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. Bought from the same estate sale. This is very cool. Look at the subject matter on this one. I mean, you should be able to look at this and know that this is going to be more valuable, right? You've got a bunch of guys goofing around in the radium studio. One guy's got pretending to stab the other guy who's got a gun. All about content here, right? This should be easily identifiable. This is the kind of stuff you want to look for. Radium Studio in Muskegon, Michigan. Super cool. That one sold for $72.95. Another real photo, Texas, Sulphur Springs. There's that car again. Hopkins County, another courthouse. Again, kind of cropped down to focus on the good part of the image, right? Always a good idea to do that if you've got a lot of negative space. $74.95. This is USS Wheeling. That's the cancel anyways. It's the on the back here, the USS Wheeling cancel, which is, that alone was uncommon, so worth mentioning in the title. The title up here is what you see down in the description. Americans that are rare in the plaza. So these are American soldiers, probably the Spanish-American War, 1915, maybe World War I. Probably World War I, actually. Very cool postcard. That one came in the same auction. Most of the Alaska Yukon Pacific postcards came in. Not the same lot, but the same auction. All right, these next two are both same subject matter, went to the same buyer. They were sold overseas to a buyer in the Philippines. They're of the Alaska Yukon Pacific exhibition. They sold each for the same price, $74.95. They rebuilt this Igorote village in the exposition, and they imported a bunch of native Filipinos to inhabit this village, and it was basically like a human zoo. Isn't history great? So this is one image, a couple of kids running around in front of it. It's probably 30 degrees in the northwest while this happened. And then the second one, same thing, same kids climbing up the stairs back into the village. So same subject matter, both, pretty interesting. Snapshot in history and culture back when this sort of thing was okay. Can you imagine nowadays if they, went into the Amazon and extracted one of these, like, not in contact with Western culture tribes and just brought them to, like, a World's Fair and built a fence and a fake village and put them in it? Don't think that would fly. Another cool sepia view, Waterbury, Vermont, Stowe Street, Dirt Street view. You got some cars here. This one sold relatively quickly as well. Very cool. Eastern Illustrating Company, Belfast, Maine. Just a cool card. Lots of stuff going for it. You got little signs down here. $74.95. All right, we're getting into the top 10 here. Another good subject matter. Watermills. This one's in Gilroy, California. Gilroy, California, generally speaking, good location. Sold a lot of Gilroy postcards. There are collectors out there who like this town. Again, $79.95. We're getting up there a little bit more. This one. So I ended up with a lot of, this came from a postcard album. A lot of these last ones did, that I bought from a estate gallery in California. They wanted $500 for the album. I offered $200 and, waited out and let them try to sell it for more. So Yarrington, Nevada, school children on a horse-drawn cart. Sold very, very quickly. $79.95. There's the full view. I was hoping, crossing my fingers, that there was like suffragette stuff on here or something, but no. There's the back. Load of Yarrington children. Yarrington, pretty small town still. They incorporated in 1909, the same year here. And I've got some others up for sale currently. In fact, I'm going to be doing, my next video will be my favorite postcards that haven't sold. So keep an eye out for that. Should be out in a few days. All right, we're into the hundreds. This is Hotel Mora in Mora, Washington. This came from the Goodwill auction lot. I could find nothing on Hotel Mora. Mora, Washington does not exist currently. And anytime you can find a postcard, especially real photo, from a place that doesn't exist anymore, that's a good thing. It is a defunct mining town here in Washington. So hence the value of this one, $124.95. I think I took less on this. I think it was $100 I took on it. Almost sure of that. Then we've got Chapel, Mississippi, A&M, so from the Textile Tower. So as you can see, I caught on to the fact that someone was buying up my Mississippi postcards from this is the Agri College. This did sell full price, not on a make offer. Had the Agricultural College cancel on here too, so it has that going for it. $124.95. Again, Agricultural College, Mississippi, illustrated postcard. I mean, even this damage, this is why I like postcards. You would not You wouldn't see that with a sports card or Pokemon. Condition doesn't always matter with postcards, which is what I really like about them. This one's a survivor. And a good thing. Look how beautiful that building is. Look at the lattice work. How many images of that building do you think exist? Rhetorical question. My guess is probably not many. This one also came from the album I bought in California. This is a African-American porter in Virginia. I'm not going to show the back of this one. This is we'll just say that the views of the person who sent this card do not reflect current day values. Even the front of the card is a little bit beyond what I'm comfortable selling and showing. It's like pretty much right up to the limit. But this is such a historical snapshot and such an interesting image. I did decide to list it. It's just so, I mean, this guy's face just speaks volumes. This one I had to go and get some help on. I went to the Patreon for Auction Professor and asked for some help from some folks, and they were very helpful. This is from the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis. Super interesting image. Check out the ghost image up here up top. These guys holding axes. I thought this might be people in red face, and I still think so. I think it's up for debate, though, because this guy definitely looks like he's Native American. But the story behind this was there was a competition between a college and a Native American tribe at this. The thing that clued it in for people to help me pinpoint it was the pennants being held here. I couldn't really tell what they were saying, except I could read souvenir on one of them. But I was able to get some help on this one and identify it appropriately. Very, very interesting image. So much going on here. Had some damage, doesn't matter. $124.95. Another more recent one. This came from the lot from Goodwill. Sold for $150. It didn't. I took an offer on this one, so I believe it was less than that, like $125, I think. But this is the Customs Wharf at Shifu in China. 1910s approximately. So, we're over. We've had several good international ones here. Here's another real photo. This one came from the collection I bought that included all the Mississippi postcards. Very, very interesting. Again, snapshot in history here, right? You've got carriages carrying all these look like religious women. I would guess probably Christian women, and all of the carriage drivers are African Americans. I mean, this one just, again, tells such a story. So interesting. Sending from Guntown to Houston, Mississippi to Drew, Mississippi. Just so interesting. That one sold full price, $149. I didn't even take offers. I could have maybe auctioned this one and gotten more, but I don't typically auction. I'd rather just set a price I'm happy with and take the money. Another very cool one, Rapid City, South Dakota. This is a American Indian Parade, real photo. Believe I got this one as well from a estate auction lot prior to the pandemic. Little message here on back. Very interesting, cool content. This was another real photo. This was came from the same auction lot. This is a bird's eye view of Alberta, Canada, but it was a souvenir of the Spokane Chamber of Commerce's visit to Coleman, Alberta. So you've got a lot of like mining and logging stuff here, and then the back actually tells what we're looking at. So this one sold very, very quickly. Full asking price, $149.95. I think this is my favorite single postcard that I've ever sold. The first Dodge Brothers car shipped to H.O. Harrison of San Francisco. So this car, after it rolled off the assembly line, was basically just used as a mobile billboard. They, drove it across the country, and, they put how many miles it traveled to show the reliability. This was one of the first high dollar postcards that I sold that really I caught the bug. I have to be honest, I do not remember where I bought it. I think it came in a postcard album that I purchased at some point. This was the 12th car they made, but the first car that got delivered to somebody. So super, super rare content, and it has everything going for it. It took a little bit to sell, if I recall. But yeah, I just really think that's such a cool card. And then my biggest home run ever came from the album I bought at the Estate Gallery in California. A lot of you have found this channel because of a video that I did of this and was mentioned by Lonnie over at Shed Flips. This is the 1907 Rex Parade Mardi Gras complete set in amazing condition. It goes through all the floats from the parade. And these images really don't give as good of the color and printing quality of these cards. They are far more vibrant than what you're seeing on your screen. They were remarkably well preserved and absolutely cool cards. I had them up for $12.95. It's going to show on WorthPoint as $12.95, but I did take an offer for $1,000 on these, and believe I was the most expensive set ever sold of these. From all the research that I could find, I sold mine for more than anybody else got, which is kind of neat for a high value item like this to be top of the market. So that is it. Those are my home runs. Hopefully there'll be more in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you learned something new. If anything, I hope that you enjoyed the content and found some interest in these things that I've actually found a lot of interest in. Never really expected to fall into postcards, honestly. But here I am, and I'm very happy for it. They're a lot of fun to deal with, and when you find something you know is special, it's a lot of fun to be able to bring that out to the world. And been a lot of fun to bring these out to you here today as well. So once again, if it's your first time here, you'd like to see more content like this, I'd ask you to consider subscribing. Hit the like button, leave a comment. You can buy me a coffee or visit my Facebook page in the comments down below. And once again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.